Colombia is without a doubt the second most biodiverse country on the planet. A total paradise of jungles, mountains, and oceans that attracts millions of international travelers every single year. But let's be brutally honest right now. Venturing into the Colombian wilderness is not like taking a stroll through a well-paved national park in Europe or North America. It is wild, it is unpredictable, and if you do not know exactly what you are doing, your dream vacation can rapidly turn into an absolute logistical nightmare, or worse, a severe risk to your safety. Every single year, thousands of international tourists make the exact same deadly mistakes because they underestimate the geography and ignore the local rules. So today, I am breaking down the top 7 national parks in Colombia you absolutely must visit, but more importantly, I am giving you the unfiltered survival guide for each one. How to get there, what to avoid, and the hidden scams that nobody else is warning you about. Do not skip ahead, because the mistake tourists make in our number 2 spot literally costs lives, and I want to make sure you return home safe. Get ready, because this is the ultimate survival guide for the international ecotourist. We kick off our countdown at number 7. Amacayacu National Park. Located deep in the Amazon rainforest at the very southern tip of the country. This place is the pure definition of unexplored territory. Here you can navigate the Amazon River and connect with indigenous communities, but the logistics of getting there is your first massive challenge. You cannot simply rent a car. You must fly into the jungle city of Leticia and then take a fast boat for nearly 2 hours. And here is your first major safety warning: the Amazon does not forgive uninformed tourists. It is absolutely mandatory that you get your yellow fever vaccine at least 10 days before your trip, otherwise, you could be completely denied entry. Furthermore, the most common scam here involves pirate tour operators lurking at the Leticia docks. Never hand your cash over to random people on the street promising to take you to see pink dolphins for a ridiculously low price. You will end up in an unsafe canoe, with no life jackets, stranded in the middle of the river. Always book in advance with certified agencies that work directly with local communities. And never travel without a heavy-duty DEET bug spray and medical evacuation insurance, but while the Amazon requires heavy medical prep. Our next destination requires a physical warning that most people visiting the capital completely ignore. Moving to number 6, we are drastically changing climates with Chingaza National Park. Just a 2-hour drive from Bogota. This high-altitude ecosystem looks like another planet. Filled with strange plants called frailjones and, if you are lucky, the elusive spectacled bear. Many international tourists visiting the capital decide to do a day trip here, but they make one critical, day-ruining mistake: they underestimate the extreme altitude and the freezing cold. Chingaza sits at over 12,000 feet above sea level. If you just landed in Colombia, do not go to this park the very next day. You need to acclimatize in Bogota first, or altitude sickness, locally known as soroche, will hit you like a freight train with severe headaches and nausea. The weather here shifts in a matter of minutes from bright sun to a freezing, blinding fog. Wandering off the trail here is highly dangerous due to the immediate risk of hypothermia. The absolute survival rule is to never leave the marked paths, and always hire an authorized local guide. Also, the park has a very strict daily visitor cap. You must book your entry through the official government website at least 15 days in advance. Or you will be turned away at the gate. And speaking of extreme altitudes, if you think Chingaza is tough, you are not ready for the brutal reality of our number 5 spot. Located right in the heart of the famous coffee region. Number 5 is Los Nevados National Park. This is the absolute dream destination for mountaineers, featuring towering snow-capped peaks and active volcanoes. The main access points are from cities like Manizales or through the famous Cocora Valley in Salento. But listen to me very carefully, this is not a casual trekking route for beginners. We are talking about altitudes exceeding 16,000 feet. Every single year, foreign tourists have to be rescued by emergency teams because they completely misjudged the physical demand. But the biggest warning here is about scam travel agencies. Due to recent and ongoing volcanic activity, massive sections of the park are strictly restricted by the Colombian Geological Service due to the real risk of eruption. Unscrupulous tour operators in Salento will try to sell you expensive summit packages to closed routes, only to pocket your money and take you on a fake, lower altitude trail. Always demand to see the guide's high mountain certification and check the official government volcano alerts before paying a single dollar from freezing peaks. We are taking you straight to the Caribbean heat for number 4. But do not let the crystal clear water fool you, because this next park is arguably the biggest tourist trap in the entire country. Coming in at number 4 is the Corrales del Rosario and San Bernardo National Park. Just an hour speedboat ride from Cartagena, this archipelago is famous for its stunning coral reefs. It is beautiful, yes, but the survival warning here is all about maritime safety and aggressive scams. To get there, you must take a boat from the official Bodeguita dock in Cartagena. Never, under any circumstances, accept a ride in an informal boat leaving from a public beach. The Caribbean Sea gets incredibly rough in the afternoons, and these small, overloaded illegal boats run a massive risk of capsizing. Once you survive the boat ride and get to the islands, prepare for the relentless assault of beach vendors. The infamous free oyster or free massage scam happens here thousands of times a day. They hand you a sample, claim it is a gift, and then violently demand upwards of $100. The golden rule in this park is to aggressively confirm the final price of absolutely everything before you touch it. If you order fish at a beach restaurant, demand a physical printed menu. If they refuse to show you a menu with printed prices, walk away immediately. Or you will be forced to pay the most expensive lunch bill of your entire life. Now, dealing with scammers is annoying, but dealing with venomous snakes on a former maximum security prison island? That is exactly what awaits you at our number 3 spot. Entering the top 3 with a destination that feels straight out of a movie. Gorgona National Park. This remote island in the Pacific Ocean was once Colombia's version of Alcatraz. But today it is a pristine paradise reclaimed by the dense jungle. It is one of the greatest spots on Earth for advanced scuba diving and watching humpback whales between July and October. But Gorgona is wild territory in its purest form. The island is crawling with highly venomous snakes. This is not an exaggeration for YouTube, it is the reality of the ecosystem. Because of this, the park rangers enforce strict military-style rules. You are strictly forbidden from walking anywhere on the island without thick, knee-high rubber boots, which they provide upon arrival. And you cannot take a single step outside the designated compound without an armed park ranger. The logistics to get here are exhausting. You must fly to Guapi or Buenaventura and take a rough boat ride in open ocean waters. You can only visit Gorgona by purchasing a comprehensive package through the official government concession. Do not look for cheap workarounds on the mainland because you will literally not be allowed to step off the boat. Gorgona is wild and remote. But ironically, the park where tourists get into the most fatal accidents is actually the most popular and crowded one in Colombia. Let's talk about number 2. Our number 2 spot is the world-famous Tayrona National Park, right next to Santa Marta. It is the perfect postcard where the lush jungle of the Sierra Nevada crashes directly into the white sand beaches of the Caribbean. But because it is so incredibly popular, it is pure chaos if you are not prepared. First, water safety. The most famous beaches you walk past, like Arrecifes, have deadly, invisible rip currents. There are massive red signs everywhere stating that swimming is prohibited, and yet, every single year, tourists ignore the warnings and drown. You only swim in the designated safe bays like Cabo San Juan. Second, the entry lines. Tayrona has a strict daily capacity. In high season, the lines start forming at 5 in the morning. If you do not buy your ticket online weeks in advance, you will travel all the way there just to be left standing outside the gate. Furthermore, out of respect for the native indigenous tribes that live in the mountains, the entire park shuts down completely 3 times a year. Usually in February, June, and October, for spiritual cleansing and ecological recovery. Always check the official calendar before booking your flights. Oh, and completely empty your bags of single-use plastics before arriving. Because security will confiscate them at the entrance. Tayrona is breathtaking. But it does not even come close to the sheer scale and mystery of our number 1 spot. A place so protected, that stepping foot inside it without clearance is a federal crime. Finally, number 1. The largest, most mysterious, and most jaw-dropping natural park in Colombia. Chiribiquete National Park. known as the Sistine Chapel of the Amazon. This massive territory is home to giant tabletop mountains called tepuis and tens of thousands of prehistoric rock paintings. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. But here is the brutal reality check for the international traveler. By land, Chiribiquete is strictly closed to the public. The ecosystem is so incredibly fragile, and it is home to uncontacted indigenous tribes living in voluntary isolation, meaning entering on foot is highly illegal and incredibly dangerous. If you are in the town of San Jose del Guaviare or scrolling through Instagram and someone offers you a walking or boat expedition inside Chiribiquete, it is a 100% illegal scam. It will put you in severe legal trouble with the Colombian military and expose you to extreme dangers in the deep jungle. The only legal, safe, and authorized way to witness this world wonder is by booking a specialized tourist flyover departing from the local airport. It is an expensive investment. But flying over these ancient plateaus in the middle of the virgin jungle is a life-changing experience that guarantees both the preservation of the park and your own safety. Visiting the Colombian wilderness is one of the most rewarding travel experiences you can possibly have in your lifetime, as long as you leave your naivety at home. Respect the extreme environments, respect the local rules, never hunt for the cheapest tour at the expense of your own safety, and always use legal operators. If this survival guide helped you plan your trip and avoid a disaster, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now. And let me know down in the comments which of these 7 parks is at the very top of your bucket list. Stay sharp, travel safe, and I will see you in the next adventure.